Hello, my dear friends. How are you? I'm Mario Thurger, and here I am today to answer a patron's question concerning Freydís Eiríksdóttir. Quite the character, strong, wild, and fierce. It's a little bit hot in here. By the way, you have probably been aware that recently I haven't been replying to your comments, and my apologies, my deepest apologies. I'm really sorry. I read them in my phone, but sadly I'm short on time, and I've been unable to give a proper reply to your questions and your general feedback. You see, I'm not actually here. By the time you watch these videos, I'm in Belgium, and I've been for some time actually, if everything went well, of course, nigh a month at this point. So I've left scheduled videos to keep you company. Now, on to the good stuff. Recent TV series have been popularizing the figure of warrior women in Viking age. But what about Freydís Eiríksdóttir? Was she really a warrior and a Viking? From the medieval Norse literature point of view, no, she wasn't. First, we have to contextualize the colonization of Greenland and Vinland, the only scenarios where this historical figure was mentioned. In this context, there are no Vikings, if we take into account that this was an occupational activity linked to piracy and wars, being Viking, of course. The Icelanders who went to the aforementioned sites were armed settlers or armed colonizers, not Vikings. Viking is not synonymous with Norse or Scandinavian, despite many movies and TV series and some academics insisting on this reference. And for more information about the term Viking and its meanings from historical accounts and the use of the term, I've got you covered, fam. I've covered that already on another video, which you can see right here at this information icon in this right upper corner, right? Well, the second issue is that at no time was Freydis characterized as a shield maiden. For instance, like Lagartha from Saxo Grammaticus, or a warrior queen like Brunhild from the Saga of the Volsungs, or a Valkyrie, right? She does not directly participate in any battles. Of course, at one point in the Saga of the Greenlanders, she kills some unarmed women. In another situation in Saga of Eric the Red, when ships attack in Vinland, she's pregnant, frightens them, holding a sword and showing her breasts. But she doesn't actually fight, as the natives flee in fright. Freydis is an example in medieval Norse literature of a relentless, courageous, fearless, adventurous woman. But she was not objectively described as a warrior, unlike, of course, other women characters and female figures from medieval Nordic literature. Both goddesses and feminine spirits and the human women have been described as participating in war, doing battle, one way or another linked to armed combat and even going Viking, but not Freydís Eiríksdóttir as it has been portrayed in a recent TV series. There is, however, the interesting Norse legend of Alvid, or Alfhild, whom, despite being promised to marry and on the verge to do so, her mother changes her mind by stating, or rather criticizing her for being willing to accept the first good-looking young man to come along. This made Alvid think twice and instead turned to piracy, a shield maiden who had her own fleet of longships with crews of young female pirates, therefore actual Viking women, and raided along the coasts of the Baltic Sea. She was the absolute terror of the seas. Many women and young girls enrolled in her company, and she was the terror of the Baltic Sea. However, eventually the man she was to marry to ran into Alvid by chance, by fate. The man was Ulf, and he and his man waged battle against Alvid and her crew. And in this legend, like in many other medieval Nordic literary accounts, the women end up losing. Upon defeat, Alvid is back into female clothing, as it is stated in the sources. She got married and she became a mother. Her Viking days were over forever, sadly. In late medieval Scandinavia and other Nordic tales of maiden kings, shield maidens, women who took male names, dressed as men, and successfully led armies became very popular. However, these stories have the same end, unfortunately, or the same religious and social model. Such women, by force of fate, destiny, would always finally be overcome by the man they were destined to marry. They could not escape the inevitable fate of a patriarchal social structure. Despite women having had several important roles in Old Norse society and a great deal of power and autonomy in Old Norse and in medieval Nordic societies, women's power had its limitations, and many literary sources reflect that. Alvid is perhaps an indication of the real warrior women and Viking women who have existed, but such late medieval stories end up giving them the same fate, that of succumbing to patriarchal power. Seemingly a sort of attempt through literary works to impose religious and moral rules of a patriarchal system, stating that no matter what women do, they will always be fated to man's control. Surely a sad, very sad reality for women we still see nowadays. However, to all the girls and women and old crones, it's never too late. Remember that. We don't have to play by the rules of the old sources and whatever a patriarchal system dictates to be right and wrong. Nowadays there's a little bit more freedom. I long to see more shield maidens these days overthrowing the system. Burn it all down. Well, I do hope this rather short video was useful. In fact, my apologies again, but this time my apologies for being so short. You see, my life this year is going from bad to worse, and even though my zodiac sign is Leo, the lion, I'm really not being a drama queen here. Well, perhaps a little bit. But, well, indeed, it's been quite hard to keep up with everything, especially the videos. But you don't need to be bothered by my own struggles. Even I can't be arsed at this point. Whatever happens, happens. We shall see. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video. And as always, tack för idag. Thanks for today. Obrigado por hoje. Until we meet again, my dear friends.